The Will You Grow Show goes live Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. To receive notifications, click the subscribe button beneath this video, or visit YouTube's Will You Grow channel to see more shows and videos. And now, here's Will You founder Angelique Medow with this week's Will You Grow Show.
Welcome to the Will You Grow Show. How are you? I'm Angelique, founder of Will You and WillYouGrow.com, an inspirational multimedia company that provides education and mentoring to nurture empowerment and joy. Our weekly Grow Show begins by tackling touchy subjects that'll tickle your tempestuous thoughts, fan your eternal flame, and salve your soul with hope. Halfway through, we'll take a 60-second look at what people have to say about us, and then we'll share a little surprise snippet from our nature adventure hike in the Smoky Mountains. And then we'll go hands-on to share tips and tools to begin implementing today's lesson into your life. Here in the studio with me today are our audio aficionado, Ben, and our video Santa, Neil.
Hello.
They help make this show happen while sharing their colorful commentary. Today's episode is sponsored by Life and Nature, who keep our hearts beating and our world turning, and by the Carrie Campbell Foundation, which supports creative video content that increases love among all people. Love that! We say thank you to the Carrie Campbell Foundation and each and every sponsor and donor. Now, on to today's episode, the healing power of nature. If we're going through or recovering from trauma or stress, life can feel overwhelming and like too much to handle. As a coach for willpower and empowerment, I'm familiar with many ways to heal. And one of the most highly effective and inexpensive methods is nature. In today's episode, we'll take a look at very simple ways to allow ourselves to quietly heal with the power of nature and restore tranquility to our souls. Once upon a time, long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far.
Yes, exactly. People worked all day in nature's fields, planting, harvesting, and hunting. Observing nature was as natural and common as breathing. Even 20 years ago, children escaped from parental drama by running into the woods where they could feel better. Nowadays, I know children who've never seen a forest, and parents who are afraid of the dark. And all generations spend the time that was once spent in nature in front of computer and television screens. The following research is from the University of Minnesota and the Earl Bakken Center for Spirituality. A little FYI, Earl Bakken invented the first cardiac pacemaker, which is now implanted in one patient in every 3 seconds. Bakken himself received 2 pacemakers, which he says gave him at least 10 years of extra life. A favorite quote of his is, "When we're taking care of patients, it should be 20% scientific and 80% spirituality." Now let's move on to the research about science and nature. Too much time in front of screens can be deadly. Nature deprivation, a lack of time in the natural world, largely due to hours spent in front of TV or computer screens, has been associated, unsurprisingly, with depression. Even more unexpected are studies by Weinstein and others who associate screen time with loss of empathy and lack of altruism. And there are life-threatening risks. In a 2011 study published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology, time in front of a screen was associated with a higher risk of death, and that was independent of physical activity. Being in nature, or even viewing scenes of nature, on the other hand, reduces anger, fear, and stress, and increases pleasant feelings. Exposure to nature not only makes us feel better emotionally, but it contributes to our physical well-being. It reduces blood pressure, heart rate, muscle tension, and the production of stress hormones. Research done in hospitals, offices, and schools has found that even a simple plant in a room can have a significant impact on stress and anxiety because nature soothes. In addition, nature helps us cope with pain because we are genetically programmed to find trees, plants, water, and other nature elements engrossing, and we are absorbed by nature scenes and distracted from our pain and discomfort. This is nicely demonstrated in a now classic study of patients who underwent gallbladder surgery. Half had a view of trees and half had a view of a wall. According to the physician who conducted the study, Robert Ulrich, the patients with the view of trees tolerated pain better, appeared to nurses to have fewer negative effects, and spent less time in a hospital. More recent studies have shown similar results with scenes from nature and plants in hospital rooms. Because nature restores. One of the most intriguing areas of current research is the impact of nature on general well-being. In one study, in Mind, 95% of those interviewed said their mood improved after spending time outside, changing from depressed, stressed, and anxious to more calm and balanced. Other studies by Ulrich, Kim, and Cervinka show that time in nature or scenes of nature are associated with positive mood, a psychological well-being, meaningfulness, and vitality. Furthermore, time in nature or viewing nature scenes increases our ability to pay attention. Because humans find nature inherently interesting, we can naturally focus on what we're experiencing out in nature. This also provides a respite for our overactive minds, refreshing us for new tasks. In another interesting area, Andrea Taylor's research on children with ADHD shows that time spent in nature increases their attention span later. Because nature connects. According to a series of field studies conducted by Ku and Coley at the Human Environment Research Lab, time spent in nature connects us to each other and the larger world. Another study at the University of Illinois suggests that residents in Chicago public housing who had trees and green space around their building reported knowing more people, having stronger feelings of unity with neighbors, being more concerned with helping and supporting each other, and having stronger feelings of belonging than the tenants in buildings without trees. In addition to this greater sense of community, they had a reduced risk of street crime, lower levels of violence and aggression between domestic partners, and a better capacity to cope with life's demands, especially the stresses of living in poverty. This experience of connection may be explained by studies that used fMRI to measure brain activity. When participants viewed nature scenes, the parts of the brain associated with empathy and love lit up. But when they viewed urban scenes, the parts of the brain associated with fear and anxiety were activated. It appears as though nature inspires feelings that connect us to each other and to our environment. Again, we thank the University of Minnesota and the Earl E. Bakken Center for Spirituality for that research. We can receive comfort from nature. We can feel comforted by these simple, nature-based facts. We awoke today. The sun rose and the birds sang. We can see that the constant creative vibrancy of nature and life goes on. There is air for us to breathe and water to drink. Gravity is working and Earth is intact, and we can be quietly, gently thankful for these and so many more things than we can even count. We can connect our senses to nature. As we breathe in the outside air, we can smell the foliage, the sand, and the earth wherever we are. As we listen, we can hear the rustle of the leaves as they dance in the air and play beneath the trees. We can taste the fruits from trees, which many months it took to produce. We can touch a cool stream and then warm our hands over a fireplace. In all our senses, nature helps connect to the simple pleasures of being alive and having a body, with senses to experience and enjoy life. There are many benefits to engaging our senses in nature. Now, without dismissing the personal pain that we may be experiencing, I encourage us to experience and acknowledge both the pain and also choose to observe and accept that we are a part of this alive, real world of nature. Because our voices are as the songs of birds. Our actions can be viewed with the same pleasure by others as when we observe prancing puppies, for example. Our health brings vibrancy and pregnant possibility as it may give birth to dancing, hugging, and smiling at any moment. By observing and accepting nature, we observe and accept all of our natural self. Are some of us afraid of nature? If we may feel afraid of nature, and that feels really true for us, we can involve ourselves in as much or as little of nature as we feel comfortable. If we've been depressed or inside a long while, maybe we just want to open a window and let some fresh air in. Maybe we want to sit next to an open window. Or we may want to take a seat on the porch or take an easy stroll down the sidewalk. Others of us may feel like hiking, biking, or mountain climbing. But whatever we do, we can let our inner goodness guide the way to what's best for us. So, are we ready to get back into nature? If we're ready to gently allow nature to heal us, we can set aside 15 minutes or longer to do the following. 1. Detox our body and mind with a refreshing shower or bath with Epsom or sea salt. 2. Dress in our most comfortable clothing regardless of how it looks. 3. Grab some water. If we like, we may add lemon, lime, orange, strawberry, cucumber, or whatever looks healthy and happy for us. 4. Commune with and observe nature, however this feels best for us. 5. Engage all of our senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, hearing, and the sixth sense, intuition. Number 6, if stressful thoughts or feelings come up, it's okay. We can cry if we need to. Then, after a time, we can gently refocus each of our senses back to the beauty of nature. Notice that like a strong tree or a fragile flower, a slow turtle or a fast hare, we are all part of nature. Remember, we are nature. We cannot be separated from nature, and we are not separate from nature. We cannot live without her. If we ignore nature, we are ignoring ourselves. Nature is the provider and caretaker of the trees that give us oxygen to breathe. It's the provider and caretaker of the fields for the food that we eat. And it is the provider and caretaker for the ground under the houses in which we live. When we nurture our connection with nature by paying attention to and sharing time with her, the connection and care grows stronger. Do you need some validation on that? Needless to say, there are innumerable benefits and lots of research to support the healing power of nature. But none of them ultimately matter if we don't go outside. So get out there and feel better. And now we'll turn it over to you to consider. How will you heal with nature? While you think on it, We'll take a quick break to see what people had to say about us. When we come back, we'll show you a snippet from our adventure hike in the Smokies. We'll hear what the crew has to say and talk tips, tools, and elements to heal with Mother Nature.
The Will You Grow show will now take 60 seconds to check in with you. If you're wondering how to apply a Grow Show topic to your life, here's what people say about mentoring with Angelique.
So most people, when they hear willpower, they don't think can-do power. They think willpower. Willpower to do something that they really didn't want to do in the first place. If I want to eat a cookie, if I have willpower, I won't eat that cookie. But what's really still true? I really wanted to eat that cookie. It's impossible to win using that old paradigm that I think we mostly think of as in willpower. And it took me a long time to realize that when Angelique says, will you, she really means, will you? And it is a question, will you join me in doing this work? In my life, will you? I get it, I can, I will be open to doing whatever the work is that calls me. I truly have appreciated and do appreciate having Angelique around. She's taught me a lot, and I think I've come to a different place and a great place because I get to know her.
This is your girl. Self-care is not selfish. If you really want to dig deep and stop living on the surface, then schedule a conversation with Angelique.
And now, back to the Will You Grow show with Will You founder, Angelique Medow.
Welcome back. Before we talk healing tips, tools, and elements from Mother Nature, I'm going to take you on 60 seconds of my recent nature hike. A couple weeks ago, I needed to de-stress. So I took my favorite crew on my favorite hike to Abrams Falls and then stopped by my favorite outdoor lodge at the Dancing Bear Bistro. And Santa Neil joined me with his camera. And here he's going to show us a 60-second sneak peek. Here we go. Thank you, Carrie Campbell Foundation, for this beautiful truck. Love the Jeep. We made it to the bottom. Are you ready to take a jump and a skip and a hop and get in that water?
Indeed.
Oh, that was so fun! Woohoo! To see the rest of the video and join me in the cool waterfall, click the link in the description box after the show. And now we'll hear what the crew has to say about today's topic.
Oh yeah, you missed a good hike, Ben. I survived it.
All right.
Going down wasn't so bad. Coming back up was the struggle. But I hadn't hiked that Abrams Falls in 20+ years.
Oh man.
So I loved it, and it was great. It wasn't that hot because once you got on the trail, it was shaded. But I got a good workout.
Did you swim at the pool at the end?
I didn't, as I was shooting, and I didn't bring my trunks, but I got up to my knees there, but she got in, and Corwin was with us, and he got in there as well.
It's pretty up there.
The GoPro footage you see is courtesy of Corwin's head. He had the forehead cam going down the trail, so he's responsible for that. But we had a great time. And it was good because you got me off my keister.
Out of the edit room.
Out of the edit room, away from the screen, and got me outside. And you're right. We need to take time to go outside. We have to. It's just better for everybody. Better for you, better for you. Might be in a better mood. Family might not be as irritable if you're actually enjoying a good dose of fresh air.
I think the mind responds positively to anything that's novel, and just being out in the woods, no matter how many times you've been out there, you're going to see an animal you rarely see, or smell some, flora that you're not used to.
We saw a gecko.
You almost can't help but feel better after. I mean, it's a chemical process. So,
did you notice anything different?
I slept amazing that night. And I know why. Because I was pumping my blood and getting my heart rate up, and that's good for you. And I was outside on that beautiful trail, taking it. I mean, no planes, no traffic, no nothing, just taking all that in, and it helps.
I think, especially in the United States, probably most people don't know much about their own backyard or their own town. I'm sure there's some beautiful nature to be found in a lot of places, except for Ohio.
No, take it back.
He's kidding, Ohioans.
I have family in Dayton, so I can say that.
My wife's from Toledo. He's kidding.
And on that note, it's metaphysical tool time. Today's tools consist of a healing stone, animal, and a healing plant. As always, the information included is for educational and entertainment purposes only and are not a substitute for medical advice. As always, you are fully responsible for your choices. We do not encourage the worship of any healing tool mentioned in this or any show. We encourage everyone to appreciate the divinity within everything. Let's begin with today's healing stone called truffle chalcedony. Ben, what can you share with us about truffle chalcedony?
I have some information from the crystalcouncil.com. Truffle chalcedony, also known as wombstone, chalcedony nodules, and chalcedony balls, are rare botryoidal chalcedony clusters found only in Morocco. They usually range in color from white to tan and to an even darker brown that almost looks burnt. This mineral is commonly misidentified as nodular agate, which is an entirely different crystal. Although they are both members of the chalcedony family, their chemical makeup and body structure are not the same. In fact, you may have a hard time finding this mineral online or your local crystal shop due to it being referred to as other names, but still go to your crystal shop and ask them about it. Truffle chalcedony can help activate the root chakra and build a deeper connection with Mother Earth. By building a deeper connection to the Earth, we ground our energy, thoughts, and emotions within our experience here. By utilizing chalcedony, we calm our daily way of life and become more in touch with ourselves and our surroundings. As our mind becomes clear, we come to terms with what is most important to us and our spiritual path. Once we've found the things worth working towards, we'll begin feeling energized. Whether it be a new hobby, activity, job, or relationship, we can go for it all by taking a step out of our comfort zone. Truffle chalcedony is here to revitalize our spirit and rejuvenate our aura. It taps into our inner strength and brings it into the limelight, allowing us to see the potential we hold within. Once renewed confidence begins to flow through our body and our will becomes aligned with our soul's divine will, any dream or desire will become attainable. Consider meditating with this mineral and the garnet. Garnet is one of our favorite minerals for power, focus, confidence, and getting things done. It also activates one's root chakra and aids in all manifestation abilities and exercises. By pairing the chalcedony and garnet, we can create an unstoppable mindset that exemplifies our true potential.
Thank you, Ben. And today's healing animal is the goldfinch. Neil, what would you like to share with us about the goldfinch?
All right, let's talk about the goldfinch. Not goldfish, goldfinch. The following information is from spirit-animals.com. When goldfinch shows up, they call us to have a closer connection to nature and a deep understanding of her ways. The more we do so and learn from the ways of the goldfinch, we can learn to listen to our inner voice, follow through, tap into the healing energies of the elemental realm, and allow ourselves to be healed. In general, goldfinch symbolism is a sure sign of excitement, liveliness, and enthusiasm within our current world. Their arrival is to remind us to enjoy life and savor each moment for the joy that is inherent within it. Furthermore, it is also a time to celebrate who we are, our accomplishments, or just for the sheer fun of it. The goldfinch meaning symbolizes that life is for us to live. Therefore, each moment we waste on such negative emotions as fear, hatred, and anger is a waste of time. Yes, indeed it is. This spirit animal is all about finding joy in the nature of the present moment.
Excellent. Thank you, Neil. And today's flower is the Rose of Sharon. The following information is from redargentina.com. Here's some history about the Rose of Sharon. The Rose of Sharon symbolizes love, beauty, and healing to both Jews and Christians, although their exact interpretations may differ. Some consider it a symbol for Christ and/or the Christ consciousness within all. Rose of Sharon is mentioned in the Old Testament Song of Songs. It is written that the shepherds used Rose of Sharon oil to treat cuts and wounds. Even today, Rose of Sharon essential oil is used for its antiviral and antibacterial agents. It's also used to stimulate the immune system. Interestingly, the Rose of Sharon can be a difficult plant to grow. It must have the right light, water, and temperature. Yet, nature has the ability to place it in the perfect locations for growth and prolific blooms. Personally, I was deeply awed by a living Rose of Sharon last week. I was stopped at a stoplight and a Rose of Sharon caught my eye as it had grown strongly out from a crack alongside the street's rain gutter. The Rose of Sharon stood strong as cars whipped swiftly by, and I was impressed. And it's also fun, I'll show you. A Rose of Sharon appeared in my yard. That's kind of what a Rose of Sharon actually looks like. Deer are also attracted to the Rose of Sharon bush, so planting a Rose of Sharon in your yard may distract deer from eating the plants that you'd like them to avoid. And hummingbirds and bees are also a favorite of the Rose of Sharon. And finally, the deeper meaning of the Rose of Sharon reminds us that we are able to overcome and survive the adversities of life. Where problems or inconveniences are only the thorns of a rose, we can emerge between those thorns and resurrect ourselves with a beauty and unmistakable force that's representative of the power of the dynamic duo of nature and life and God. We needn't let the day wilt us. Instead, we can be as strong as the Rose of Sharon and bloom where we are planted. So, to sum things up, to receive the healing power of nature, we can change our focus and connect to the healing power of nature. And if we can, let's get up and get out in it. Either way, nature's healing power is available to us every minute of every day. We might also bring nature inside by putting a plant in our home or office. And we might carry a chalcedony stone in our pocket or purse. We might sing with a goldfinch, plant a Rose of Sharon in our yard, or smile at one alongside the road to remind ourselves that we can move our focus away from the stress and onto the healing power of nature. So what say ye? Will you allow yourself to bask in the healing power of nature? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments section so we may grow in strength and willpower together. As always, we thank you for watching and sharing time with us. We'd be honored if you liked today's show that you'd hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive all new videos. Hit the like button to let us know that you like what we're doing, and hit the share button to share this message with people you care about. We ask for this because each time you like or share our video, it becomes more visible via YouTube, which allows more new people to find and watch the video and receive inspiration and tools for their healing. Your likes, your shares support healing. That's what we're all about. And for more free goodies from us, be sure to check out the links in the description box for free articles, affirmations, and loads of more fun. And if you'd like to get out in nature, be sure to check out and subscribe to our new YouTube channel, Will You Adventure, where you'll find the full video hike of Abrams Falls along with other exciting videos. You'll find that in the description box. And if you'd like to mentor with me, schedule your complimentary conversation by clicking the link in the description box or go to willyougrow.com to learn more. And I'll look forward to speaking with you soon. Come on now. What have you got to lose besides a limitation? And now we'll bid you adieu. Take excellent care of your fine self. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week when we will talk about the saving grace of beauty. Always with love I send to you. From Angelique.
For more information about programs offered by Will You, mentoring with Angelique, and to watch video success stories from clients, explore willyougrow.com. If you or your company are interested in inspiring our mutual audience by sponsoring this or another of our programs, let's talk about it. Boost viewer confidence and trust in your company. Call 1-833-WILL-YOU, then press extension number 6. Make sure to click the subscribe button to get reminders before upcoming shows.